Jai Swaminarayan, dear student. In this video, we will understand the solved numericals of the chapter number 2, 2.14, 2.15, 2.16 and 2.17. These numericals of the chapter number 2 is very important for the JEE and NEET exam also. So keep concentration on this example. So dear student, let us start with the numericals 2.14. Example number 2.14, right? 5.74 gram of a substance occupies 1.2 centimeter cube. Here the mass of the substance is a 5.74 gram and it occupies the volume 1.2 centimeter cube. Express its density by keeping the significant figure in a view. So in the consideration with the significant figure, we calculate the density of the substance, right? So by taking into the account significant figure, we need to here the calculate the density of the substance. So dear student, you know that the what is the formula of the density of the object. So density is equal to mass divided by volume. So mass of the substance is a 5.74 gram and the volume of the substance is a 1.2 centimeter cube. Now here what is the significant figure? So consider the significant figure in a mass. Mass m is equal to 5.74, right? So significant figure is in a mass is a 3 and in a volume is a 1.2 centimeter cube. So significant figure in a volume is a 2, right? Significant digit is a 1 and 2. So total significant figure in a volume is a 2. Now if you dividing a mass divided by volume, 5.74 divided by 1.2, we get the answer 4.87333, right? So here the least number of significant figure is in the volume and it is a 2. So we need to round up this density up to the 2 significant digit. How we round off the any value with the correct number of the significant figure? So see my video of the significant figure, right? So if we cut here 3, the previous digit left as it is because the 3 is a less than 5, right? If we cut another 3, the previous digit we left as it is because another 3 is also less than 5. If we cut these 3, we left 7 as it is, right? Because 3 is a less than 5. If the digit to be removed is less than 5, the preceding digit is left as it is, right? So if we remove this all the 3, the preceding digit 7 is as it is, right? But if you remove this 7, right, which is greater than 5, we add a 1 to the preceding digit. So here the answer is a 4.9. So in the answer not the answer is a 4.8, the correct answer is a 4.9. So the answer of this question is, if you remove these 3, right, the preceding digit 3 is left as it is. If you remove this another 3, the preceding digit is left as it is because the 3 is less than 5, right? If you remove these 3, the preceding digit is left as it is. But in this there are 3 significant figure, but we need to round up this value up to the 2 significant digit. So if we remove this 7, we add a 1 to the preceding digit. So we get the answer 4.9 gram per centimeter cube. So the density of the substance up to the correct significant figure is a 4.9 centimeter gram per centimeter cube. Understand? Now example number 2.15. Let us consider an equation. 1/2 mv square is equal to mgh. where m is the mass of the body, v its a velocity, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height. Check whether this equation is dimensionally correct or not. Here we use the second use application of the dimensional analysis. The dimensional analysis is used to check whether the equation is dimensionally correct or not. So here the equation is given to you, 1 half mv square is equal to mgh, where m is the mass of the body, v is the velocity of the body, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height of the object, right? Check whether the equation is dimensionally correct. If the dimensional formula of the left hand side, dimension of the left hand side of the equation and dimension of the right hand side of the equation are same, then we can say that the equation is dimensionally correct. Otherwise the equation is dimensionally incorrect, right? So how we solve this example? We take a left hand side of the equation. Equation is given to you, 1 half mv square is equal to mgh. So left hand side of the equation is a 1 half mv square. First we calculate the dimension of the LHS, then we calculate the dimension of the RHS, and if the dimension of the LHS and the dimension of the RHS are same, right, we can say that the equation is dimensionally correct. Otherwise the equation is dimensionally incorrect. So take the dimension of the LHS. In the LHS, 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is a constant and it is a dimensional less. So constant value we are not considering in a dimensional analysis, right? So constant value has the dimension less. So dimension here 1 by 2 we are not considering in the right hand side, right? So dimension of the left hand side is a dimension of m and dimension of v square. So what is the dimension of m? Dimensional formula of mass, it is a m1, and dimensional formula of velocity, L1 t minus 1, and square of this dimensional formula of velocity. So L1 t minus 1 square. So if we combine this, we get the dimensional formula of left hand side, m1 L raised to power 1 raised to power 2, that means L2 and t raised to minus 2. So we get the, on the left hand side we get the dimensional formula is m1 L2 t minus 2. Now what about the right hand side of the equation? On the right hand side mgh is given. So we put a dimensional formula of mass, dimensional formula of acceleration due to gravity. So dimensional formula of acceleration due to gravity is the dimensional formula of acceleration, and height, the dimensional formula of the height. Dimensional formula of the height is a length. So we put all the three. Dimensional formula of mass is a m1. Dimensional formula of acceleration due to gravity is L1 t minus 2, and dimensional formula of the height is a L1. So if we combine this, we get the dimensional formula m1, L1 and L1. We get the L2 and t minus 2. So on the right hand side, we get the dimensional formula number 2, right? So right, left hand side dimensional formula m1 L1 L2 t minus 2, and right hand side we get the dimensional formula m1 L2 t minus 2. So here the dimension of the left hand side LHS and dimension of the RHS are same, right? So the equation is dimensionally correct, right? So if there are more than two terms are there, we calculate the dimension of all the terms, and if the dimension of all the terms are same, we can say that the equation is dimensionally correct. Otherwise the equation is dimensionally incorrect. So correctness of the equation we can calculate with the help of the dimensional analysis. કેવી રીતના આપણે ફાઇન્ડ કરવાનું? તો લેફ્ટ હેન્ડ સાઈડનું જે ઇક્વેશન છે કે જેટલા બી ટર્મ હોય ઇક્વેશનમાં એ બધા જ ટર્મની આપણે ડાયમેન્શનલ ફોર્મ્યુલા ફાઇન્ડ કરવાની. અને જો એ બધા ટર્મની ડાયમેન્શનલ ફોર્મ્યુલા સેમ હશે તો આપણે કહીએ કે ઇક્વેશન ડાયમેન્શનલી કરેક્ટ છે. અને જો કોઈ એક ટર્મની ડાયમેન્શનલ ફોર્મ્યુલા સેમ ના હોય તો આપણે શું કહીશું? ઇક્વેશન ડાયમેન્શનલી incorrect છે. Clear? So now we will see similar example of example number 2.15. Example 2.16 is there, right? With the help of the same use of the dimensional analysis, check the dimensional correctness of the equation. So example number 2.16. The SI unit of the energy is joule. It is equal to kilogram meter square second raised to -2. So from that we can calculate the dimensional formula of the kinetic energy, right? That of the speed v is meter per second and acceleration a is the meter per second square, right? So here the dimensional unit of the energy is given to you, unit of the velocity is given to you, and unit of the acceleration is given to you, right? So joule is equal to kg meter square second raised to -2. So from that the dimensional formula of the energy is m1 L2 t minus 2. Velocity is meter per second. So the dimensional formula of the velocity is a L1 t minus 1. Acceleration is a meter per second square. So the dimensional formula of the acceleration is L1 t minus 2. Now which of the formula of kinetic energy K given below can you rule out on the basis of the dimensional argument? M stands for the mass of the body. So here the number of formula of the kinetic energy is given to you, right? And which of the following, which of these formulas the correct formula of the kinetic energy we need to justify? So first formula here, K is the kinetic energy. So what is the dimensional formula of the kinetic energy? So the dimensional formula of the kinetic energy is m1 L2 t minus 2. So on the all the terms we need to calculate the dimensional formula of the RHS. So in the first term the dimensional formula of RHS, in the first term K is equal to m square v square. The dimensional formula of K we know, m1 L2 t minus 2. Now what is the dimensional formula of m square into v cube? So dimensional formula of the RHS of the A, m square v square is equal to m square, that means mass square, m raised to 2, and v velocity L1 t minus 1 raised to cube, right? L1. So the dimensional formula of mass is a m1 raised to power 2. So we get the m2. The dimensional formula of velocity L1 t minus 1 raised to power 3. So if we combine this, we get the dimensional formula of the right hand side of the first equation is m2 L3 and t minus 3, right? So which is not similar to the dimensional formula of kinetic energy. So first equation is not represent the kinetic energy, right? Because here the dimensional formula of the right hand side RHS does not match with the dimensional formula of kinetic energy, right? Now if you calculate the second one, right hand side of the second one is a 1/2 mv square. 1/2 is a constant, so we cannot take into the account of calculating the dimensional formula of the RHS because the constant has a dimension less. So m into v square. So the dimensional formula of m is a m1. Dimensional formula of v is a L1 t minus 1 raised to square. So if we calculate this, we get the dimensional formula m1 L2 t minus 2, which is similar to the dimensional formula of the kinetic energy. So second equation is the correct representation of the kinetic energy because the dimensional formula of the right hand side is equal to the dimensional formula of the kinetic energy. So second equation is correctly represent the kinetic energy of the body. Now third equation, K is equal to ma. On the right hand side of this equation is ma. So dimensional formula of m is a m1 and the dimensional formula of acceleration is L1 t minus 2. So in the third equation, on the right hand side we get the dimensional formula m1 L1 t minus 2, which is not similar to the dimensional formula of the kinetic energy. So this equation cannot represent the kinetic energy. Right or wrong? Understand? So similarly, on the equation number 4, we calculate the dimensional formula of mv square. So dimensional formula of mv square is similar to the dimensional formula of the kinetic energy. So this equation is correctly represent the kinetic energy of the object. Right? So in the last equation, K is equal to 1 half mv square plus ma. So if you calculate the dimensional formula of K, you know the dimensional formula of K is equal to m1 L2 t minus 2. You know the dimensional formula of the 1 half mv square, which is similar to the dimensional formula of K. But if you calculate the dimensional formula of m into A, which is we get a m1 L1 t minus 2. So which is not similar to the dimensional formula of K, right? So here two terms has the same dimensional formula, but third term, which is the dimensional formula, are not same. So this equation cannot represent the correctly the kinetic energy. So among these five equations, the equation K is equal to 1 half mv square and K is equal to 3 by 16 mv square is correctly represent the kinetic energy, right? So dear student, understand the how we can check the dimensional correctness of the equation, right? Now example number 2.7. Example 2.17. Consider a pendulum having a bob attached to a string that oscillate under the action of force of gravity. So here the bob of the simple pendulum oscillate with under the force of the gravity. Suppose that the period of the oscillation or periodic time of the oscillations of the simple pendulum depends on its length L, mass of the bob m, and acceleration due to gravity g. Derive the expression for its time period using the method of the dimensional analysis. So in this example, we use the third use of the dimensional analysis. The third use of the dimensional analysis is to derive the relation among the different physical quantity. So here in the sentence the given that the period of oscillation of simple pendulum depends on the length of the pendulum, mass of the bob, and acceleration due to gravity, right? So we write the periodic time capital T proportional to the length of the simple pendulum L raised to A, gravitational acceleration g raised to b, and mass of the pendulum m raised to c, where a, b, c is the constant, right? And with the help of the dimensional analysis, we can calculate the value of a, b, c and put in the value in this equation. We get the equation of the time period of the simple pendulum. So here the period capital T is depends on the length of the pendulum. So we write the L raised to A, mass of the bob. So we write m raised to c, right? And the gravitational acceleration g raised to b. So if we remove this proportionality, we require one constant. We place a dimensionless constant k, right? So t is equal to k L raised to a g raised to b, and m raised to c. Now write the dimensional formula of all the physical quantity on the left hand side as well as the right hand side. So consider dimension on the both the side. On the left hand side, the periodic time capital T. What is the dimensional formula of the periodic time capital T? It is a m0, L0 and T1. So left hand side we place a dimensional formula of periodic time. It is a m0, L0, T1. On the right hand side, k is the constant which is dimensionless, right? Second term is a length. So what is the dimensional formula of length? L1 and raised to a. So we write a L1 raised to a. G is the acceleration due to gravity. So we put a dimensional formula of acceleration due to gravity, that is the acceleration L1 t minus 2 raised to b. And third one, mass, dimensional formula of the mass is a m1 raised to c. So if you compute the dimensional formula of the left hand side, right, we get a L raised to a, L raised to b, t raised to minus 2b, and m raised to c. So if you compute this dimensional formula, we get the dimensional formula on the right hand side, m raised to c, L raised to a plus b, and t raised to minus 2b. So on the left hand side we have a m raised to 0, L raised to 0, and t raised to 1. So comparing the power of MLT, we get the three different equations. So here the power in the right hand side, the power of m is a c, and on the left hand side the power of m is a 0. So we comparing the power of m, we get the first equation c is equal to 0, right? Comparing the power of L, right, we get the a plus b is equal to 0, right? And comparing the power of t, we get the minus 2b is equal to 1. So compute this all the three equation, evaluate this all the three equation, we get the value of a, b and c, right? So first we get the value of c is equal to 0. Now from this third equation, minus 2b is equal to 1, we get the value of b is equal to minus 1 by 2. Now if you put the value of b minus 1 by 2 in the second equation, a plus b equal to 0, we get the value of a is equal to 1 by 2, right? Now calculate this type of the all the unknown physical quantities, right? L raised to a, g raised to b and m raised to c, and calculate the value of a, b and c by comparing the power of MLT. So here we get the value of c is equal to 0, value of b is equal to minus 1 by 2, and value of a is equal to 1 by 2. Put this formula in the equation number first, right? What is the equation first? T is equal to k, L raised to a, g raised to b and m raised to c. So if you put a is equal to 1 by 2, b is equal to minus 1 by 2 and c is equal to 0, we get t is equal to k, L raised to 1 by 2, g raised to minus 1 by 2 and m raised to 0. But m raised to 0, any value has a power 0, it is equal to 1. So we need not write to m raised to 0. So we get a equation t is equal to k, L raised to 1 by 2, g raised to minus 1 by 2. We take a g raised to minus 1 by 2 in the division. We get t is equal to k, L by g raised to 1 by 2. And 1 by 2 power, that is a square root. So we get a t is equal to k under root L by g. So value of k we cannot determine with the help of the dimensional analysis. That is the limitation of the dimensional analysis. But experimentally, if you find the value of k, it is equal to 2 pi. So the period of oscillations of the simple pendulum T is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. Understand, this example is very important for the examination, as well as this type of the example is asked in the JEE and NEET exam, right?